Activate.
All right, everybody. Hey, welcome to this pink. Hey, everybody. Welcome to this pink cloud. Welcome to this pink cloud. We are a show that is about multiple pathways to recovery, mental health, all that good stuff. I am DJ Kelly Reverb. Woo! Ow! Yeah, I miss the iPad because it doesn't have the flatulence on there, and
well, it's not my problem.
It is what it is. It is what it is. Speaking of it being what it is, give it up for Croissant LeMans, everybody.
Woo!
Ow!
Hey!
Ow! Yeah.
Just a real happy to be here.
Is that your pro?
I don't know what
that was like kind of a pro wrestler thing.
Yeah, hold on.
Little
Let's
Mr.
try it again.
T-ish.
I'm going to do my impression of a pro wrestler.
Go ahead.
That was pretty good.
That was good. That was spot on.
I like these glasses upside down. They make me look like I have alien eyes.
Yeah.
All the alien documentaries I watch, it makes sense for me to wear these like this.
Yeah, it sure does.
Yeah.
And we're all very proud of you.
Thanks. Hey.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Anyway, thanks for coming in. Excited to have our guest. I don't know if I said like, subscribe, all that stuff.
Yeah, but like and subscribe and all that stuff.
Be sure and like and subscribe and comment.
And comment.
Because it helps.
Kelly's a pussy.
The
Tell Kelly he's a
algorithm.
pussy.
Yeah.
In the comments.
Nice. And tell Chad that
Tell me what. Tell me what.
He's a wonderful human.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Anyway, enough with the formalities. I'm excited to have this young lady, and everybody give it up for our good friend of the show, and I would say a fan of our music.
A big fan, for sure.
Give it up for Sevara Tyrrell.
Yay.
Yay.
Sevara. Dude,
Sevara. God damn.
Hey, give it up for Sevara Johnson.
I do that all the time.
Oh, God.
Savara.
You know what? I get that a lot, though.
Sevara.
Sabaro.
Sevara.
Savannah.
Yeah.
I'm
Savannah.
Like so
Sabaro,
far from
the
Sevara,
pizza place.
but okay, sure.
But I'm glad we could actually class up the show. Actually have a female in here because it's kind of locker room sometimes.
A feminine touch.
Exactly. Yeah. And we are so happy.
Well, now that there's only two genders, it's a lot. It's a lot more.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I mean, that's the policy of the United States.
It is.
It's not my words. It's just what the policy of the United States.
It's what the Donald says.
Yeah.
Whatever the Donald says. Anyway, so we're excited to have you in. Because you know who the fuck Chad is.
Yes.
Mostly everybody knows who I am, but Chad, not so much.
You know, he's a very interesting guy.
He is.
And stand-up guy.
But so we met actually out at It'll Do.
Yes.
On the patio. Mm-hmm. I guess you recognized me, and then we started talking, and then you were, were you a aspiring DJ at that time, or how did that go down?
Yeah, so at that time, I was here in Dallas at It'll Do, but I had started DJing in Las Vegas.
Oh, that's right.
So
with a friend, right?
Uh-huh.
What's that friend's name?
Mr. Blanchard? What?
No, weren't you? I thought
the
you
Falcon.
Oh.
No, I thought you were DJing with an adult film star.
Oh, yes, with a friend, yes.
Yes.
We did some gigs together.
We can shout her out.
It was a really good time. Maybe I should have asked her before.
Well, she's fine. She's fine. Look, what she does for a living, she's fine with being mentioned.
Yeah, she's a badass DJ, Brittney Andrews. Yeah,
Brittney Andrews. Yes. Everybody.
So
she said Brittney Andrews, and Brittney Andrews has another career that you might have heard of.
Yes.
Anyway,
she's an amazing DJ, amazing human. So we were good
and y'all
friends.
are homies.
We are homies. We did some badass shows together. Interesting shows, I will say.
Okay.
Yes. But no, I started DJing in 2016.
Oh, okay.
In Las Vegas, I just kind of looked at what I was coaching at a gym, F45, and I looked at one of our members and I was like, hey, what does it take to just be a DJ? And he was like, well, you got to get the equipment. I was like, oh, can you take me now to the equipment? And he was like, sure. Bought the equipment, pressed record, made a set, posted it. And some friends of ours that are DJs here in Dallas were like, it's pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah. And it was just, started. So
Right.
just kept going from there.
Yeah. Well, and then what were you doing in Vegas?
Let's see. So I was there. I have a lot of family there.
Okay.
And like a 98-year-old grandma, and she was there, and she was, she's 98. Like,
right.
Let's be honest. So I was
Sure.
like, well, I had a breakup here, and I was like, let me go out there and just spend some time with family.
Right. Reconnect.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Reconnect and re-find myself.
Gotcha.
And I found myself in the rooms.
Yeah.
And
okay.
so it was like a really just positive journey.
Right. Well, we were talking, beforehand, but that you are a binge. Mm-hmm. Like you are one that likes to go on benders. So it's not necessarily an everyday thing for you, but it's more of a okay, the wheels have fallen off, and now we're gonna really go for it, kind of thing.
Let's see what that powertrain warranty looks like.
Right.
It's like I just think I think I can be normal.
Right.
And it's so sad because every time, it's you can't.
Right.
And you try so hard and this, but
Well, so it sounds like you realized it in 2016-ish, around that area.
Yes, but I had been to meetings before, way before that.
All right.
My stepdad was in the program.
Okay.
And he was a big time oral maxillofacial surgeon. And one day almost every time that I go back to sobriety or that I get out of it, actually, let's say not necessarily go back, but every time that I end up drinking again, it always has to do with like dating.
Oh, okay.
In a weird way.
Okay.
But it also would end up, maybe it gets me back in the rooms, like, okay, back to myself kind of thing. But actually, I was dating a DJ here in Dallas, and we went out all night. It's like in the morning, I wake up and I look over and I just am like, I don't want to be here.
Right.
And I just got up and left. He was in the bathroom, and I just left.
What would have been great is if you would have become a lesbian after that, and then just
would have been interesting.
Right.
But then I go to my parents' house, and my dad's like, "What are you doing here?" And I'm like, "I don't know." And he goes, "There's a meeting at noon." Right. And I just went to the meeting, and that was like the first time I was introduced to AA.
Right.
Yeah. And from then on, it's been a on-off kind of relationship.
Yeah. Yeah. Because you were kind of, when we first talked, you were kind of relating to the whole sober thing.
Yes. Yes. Life is better. Life is amazing.
It's a lot less complicated.
God, it's so good.
Yeah. And I'm not going to say, but see, I'm not one that comes on and preaches and goes, oh, I had no fun. Because I've had plenty of fun. My drinking career was glorious until it wasn't, until it became my job and it became a daily function. And it wasn't through intention that it happened. It just gradually happened for me. So it's just like, it is what it is.
It is.
Yeah. So, and everybody else is on their journey. And if you want to smoke weed, if you can function like that, knock yourself out, dude. But for me, caffeine, cigarettes, and that's it for right now. For now.
Yeah. Yes.
Because I've got 5 years coming up, and I plan on going for it again. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the plan. You hit like fucking 10 years,
I
5 years, 10 years. And then you're just like, party, dude.
I can prove to myself that I can do it. So,
yeah, obviously I'm not one of you guys. I made it 5 years.
Right, exactly.
No, it doesn't work like that.
Right.
Does it?
Well, so tell us a little. Was there like stuff? Obviously your stepdad was in recovery, so you were used to having that around you. So did like anybody else besides your stepdad, maybe biologically, have the proclivities or the gene
Oh,
in
yeah.
them? Oh, okay.
I feel like everyone.
Yeah.
It was like my brother, my this, my that, my
Right.
dad, everyone except for my mom.
Okay.
And my mom is Korean.
Okay.
And if I like speak of her, I have to do the voice.
Oh, let's hear it.
Can't,
Please.
I can't not.
Please.
But she will like still till this day. She'd be like, why you cannot just stop? You cannot just have, it's just a wanna drink. You be she's
Yeah.
like, and she just I'm like, Mother, I am not like you,
Right.
but I'm glad you are. She's like, I don't understand.
All right. I love it. Well, my wife's mother is Taiwanese.
Mm-hmm.
So we have the ice cream and then halipata.
Oh my God.
I love to watch halipata and eat ice cream.
Oh gosh.
But I love her.
They are
But
the
yeah,
best.
yeah.
I mean, you got to not make fun of
Yeah,
them.
no.
I consider it cute.
Yes, likewise.
She's cute.
Yes.
I love it. Yes.
It's very sweet and endearing. Yes.
Yes, but hilarious
Yeah.
at the same time.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
But so it kind of ran in the family, and then not to flame you on air, but I mean, you had I guess recently just got off of one of those
Yes.
excursions. Let's say.
did. Yeah.
Where, we were like, because Chad and I always quietly root for our friends, and we'll talk about it, and then all of a sudden we hear you're in like Kentucky, and like you lost your phone and all this or something. Okay,
So no losing phones. No, I had all of my things, all of
That
my
was the
limbs.
luggage.
your luggage, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
but it was a choice.
So I
made the choice.
I want to hear from beginning to end how the Kentucky episode went down.
Well, it started in New York.
Okay, first off, fantastic start. Manhattan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So, I guess it started in Paris, in reality. But, yeah, it's one of those things.
Take us to Paris. Okay.
So, went to Paris for a girlfriend, actually, who's in the program. She's amazing.
Okay.
I have a lot of friends in the program.
Right.
And I always come back to that, like remembering how good it was, friends and all that. So, had a wedding in Paris. So go to the wedding. Sister has a friend who is, a nice man, good looking, comes from royalty, this kind of thing, French lineage. We meet.
I understand that well.
Croissant does, yes. Or croissant.
Yes.
So we meet, but there's no time to like really get to know each other. So he's like, would you like to meet me in New York? And I'm like, sure, let's do that. So we meet in New York. Things, I'm like, maybe we're not each other's cup of tea.
Right.
So then I end up like staying and hanging out in New York. I'm like off to the races.
Right.
Enjoy myself. Totally stayed longer than needed.
Right.
Then it's finally like, okay, I'm going to go back home. But I had to fly through Kentucky. There was like some big hurricane, this and that.
Okay.
So I had to fly through Kentucky. So I get to Kentucky and there's it was like a 2-hour layover, and then they like changed it to like 6.
Oh yeah.
And I was like,
sure.
F this. So I basically was like, take my bags. I'm staying here. I was like, I'm never going to come back. I was like, I'm never going to come back. Honestly, like if I could choose a place to go visit, I'm not going to be like, get me on Kentucky. I'm good.
Yeah, right.
Like I might go to Aruba. I don't know. So I was like, you know what? I'm never going to be here again. This moment won't happen again.
I'm
Let
going
me
to.
just see.
It's very carpe diem.
Yes. Let's see what Kentucky has to offer.
All right.
So then, I had a good time. I ended up actually DJing a little bit. It was,
Yeah.
And stayed for like 3 weeks.
Are you in Lexington, Kentucky?
I was in Louisville.
Louisville. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And
the
it was
home of the Louisville Slugger.
Yes. So hung out there for a while, and then I came back home.
Okay.
And
well, hold on. You're brushing over a lot there.
What?
Like, how long did you hang out?
I think I was there for 3 weeks.
Okay, so
Yeah.
6 hours.
So first off, I love how this is just commonplace. First off, I'm gonna go to Paris for
to
a
meet with
wedding.
royalty.
For a wedding. Then I'm going to meet somebody that is in a royal family.
Not planned.
Right. And then I'm going to say, hey, yeah, my schedule's open. Let's just meet in New York. And then I'm going to go to New York, find out the guy's kind of a douche, and then start partying, and then get rerouted
Lord.
to Kentucky, and then land in Kentucky and go, instead of waiting 6 hours, I'm going to spend 3 weeks here.
I think that is a common misconception that a lot of American women have with us French royalty, right? They think, oh, wow, this guy is not entertaining.
Oh,
this guy is
Lord.
not fantastic. But the absolute truth is they are not. American women lack just the stuff that the normal French woman with like a man like me, like Croissant LeMans, would like to find endearing about the person. You know,
Right.
generally the French people like me, like myself, who deserve a lot of sound effects when they speak. We tend to shack up with different females, and generally they're not garden varieties. They used to be they are ex-cabaret dancers, and they are billionaire heirs to fortunes of billions, right? That is generally what we experience. So I speak on behalf of all French princes out there, and I say, you know what? Maybe the problem lies in America.
Well, there we go. There we have it.
good, dude.
Thank you for that insight there. I appreciate that.
Yes.
So was the guy of French royalty?
Yeah.
Was he?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I was just making sure he wasn't like a Nigerian prince.
No.
And
There. Hopefully, I
wait,
would have
there was a
noticed
time
that,
I went
right?
to Nigeria.
Hopefully, I was too drunk to notice that.
Well, hold on. I went to Kentucky, and then I went to Nigeria. So Kentucky. Then 3 weeks of Kentucky, Louisville, Kentucky.
Yes.
And you're partying balls, so to speak.
You know, drinking, doing
a little drinker's companion.
You know, had enjoyed my time there.
Right.
Saw what Kentucky had to offer.
Okay.
And, it was not bad, but
Right.
you know, I am an alcoholic, and
Right.
so it just kind of goes, and then you're
Sure.
like, what am I doing?
Right.
And of course that moment came.
Sure.
And then it's like, okay, get your ass back
Right.
to reality.
Right.
But I did have fun.
Yeah. Well, no. I mean, hey. Look,
But you
can have fun
Yeah.
using substances. I will attest to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's you remember like life is so much better. It's
Right.
just so much better.
Well, so like, I mean, how does that go? So then you get back from whatever decided, okay, enough fun in Kentucky. Then you're like, you get back, and then are you now in the program, or
No.
how does that go?
No, it just I continued a little bit on the binge. You know,
Okay.
it's a denial thing.
Okay.
You know? And I can manage for so long, but then you can't. You know, I can't
Right.
manage.
Right.
It's just denial. It's a good time, this and that, until it's not.
Sure.
But it's something that I've kind of done throughout my life.
It's a pattern.
It's a pattern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think, not to be your therapist, but do you think that it's something like a deeper seated issue that you're trying to mask, or what do you think? If you had to self analyze,
I do therapy.
Yeah.
And I have had a hard time just even saying that I'm an alcoholic.
Okay.
That just saying it is
Yeah.
difficult. And so the shame, you know, and admitting it, like this is the first time I'm actually saying it, I would say, out
Publicly.
in public.
Okay.
And I've been around and part of the program for, it's probably 20 years.
right?
You know, but I've had all these bouts with sobriety. I've had long sobriety.
Well, I was going to say, what is the longest tenure of abstinence?
It's been a year.
Okay.
But then I'll go for 2 months, and then I'll go 2 months of maybe binge, whatever.
Right.
And then 8 months.
Right.
And then 9 months.
Sure.
You know, and it's been a pattern, but I've noticed I actually have never been through the steps fully. So one, never been fully through the steps.
Okay.
That is the journey I'm on now.
Okay. Do you have a sponsor?
I do, and you had her on your show.
Did I?
Yes, you did.
What's her name?
Miss Wild Debutante.
Oh, I love her. Yes. Falcone's lovely wife.
Yes. So we've been friends in the program for a long time.
Yeah, she's fantastic. I bet she's fun.
God, we used to hang out so much.
Right.
You know.
Now does she, but I mean, I know that, you know, she's a friend as well. So does she hold you accountable, like, and call you on your shit?
100%.
Okay.
She'll be like, bitch, you're crazy. Like, you know, like, what are you thinking?
Right.
And I'm like, she's right, you know?
Yeah.
But I need that. I need her to call me out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I think that's, you know, important role of, you know, your sponsor, I would think would be hopefully the voice of reason for you.
Yes.
And maybe frame it in a different way to get you out of your own head.
Yes. And I love that she knows me.
Yeah.
You know, we've spent so much time together in the past. And so it really, really helps with the bond. But yeah, she keeps me accountable for sure.
Right. Now, are you actually going through the steps currently with her?
Yes.
Okay.
I am.
And what step are you on?
Well, we're taking it slow.
Okay.
I'm doing this right.
We're on number 1.
We did 1 and 2. We did 1 and 2. We're getting on 3. She just texted me yesterday. And so we're taking it slow, but I've noticed a few things in my life that I have made changes with to where it really, this is one of them, publicly announcing that I actually am an alcoholic.
Right.
And that I'm living a sober life.
Right.
I've never done that.
Right.
You know, and so this is a
Did you hear that?
deal.
We have an exclusive, Chad. We have an exclusive.
I just have one question. So I understand
for Frenchmen.
The AA. What does the second letter stand for in the United States? In France, it stands for anonymous. So I was just wondering if we're supposed to be anonymous on the book. Talking about the book in America, I know your laws are so different here.
Anyway, but yeah. So I mean, so in your, you know, journey, like, I mean, is it going to be like one of those things where I'm going to get to step 3, but then I'm going to go over to Flagstaff, Arizona and hang out for...
No, I don't know if it's just because I'm older.
Yeah.
I'm ready. Like, it just, there's a feeling, there's just so much to do.
Is there something different this time?
Oh, the question. I just... admitting,
right?
Just really like, I'm growing up in a way. It's like grow the fuck up,
sure.
But I don't even. There's like, okay, Slurms McKenzie. Have you ever seen Futurama? Okay,
no.
Okay, so there's like an episode where he's this little worm, whatever, and he's a party worm, and he comes in and he goes dong 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 dong, and he just dances, and he wears these sunglasses, and I'm Slurms McKenzie, and I'm here to party, right? And then there's this one episode where he takes the glasses off, his eyes are bloodshot red, and he goes, I'm all partied out, man.
Is that what you feel like?
It's just like,
that's the analogy,
over.
Right?
Yes, like I have had... I'm done.
Yeah,
that sounds like a word I would call like an ugly friend.
Swarms.
Oh, hey, it's Slurms McKenzie. How are you? Hey, Slurms.
Don't mind swarms. Yeah.
Taking the glasses off, the eyes are like, oh.
Right.
I'm
so
done.
you feel like, well, first off, I want to say this. I always say that the person, being you or me or Chad, they have to want it. You know, but then it's that motivation. So what is going to motivate you to stay done? You know what I mean? So what do you think?
Everything that I want in life, period. It's right there. And because I've been sober, I know it's all possible, and it's all happened being sober. So that's it. It's all of the positive things that I've know are on the other side. And sky's the limit there. And it's just time.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so it's just more of a timing thing for you, like to where you're kind of tired of the results of your binges.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And I seriously, like, admitting it is just a huge deal for me.
Well, and it must be like kind of a weight off of your shoulders.
Yeah.
In order to be okay and come to grips with it.
Right.
Because, I mean, as you know, being in and out of the program, there is a complete community of sober people out there that you don't even realize are there until you're attempting or become sober,
Right. And it's amazing how freaking cool they are.
Well, because they used to go as hard as you.
Right? It's like we are not a glum lot.
Right.
Actually, Brittney and I, we would always say that. So when we were in Vegas, we actually chartered, we would get a whole bus. We'd get this big-ass party bus and put all these sober people on it, and we'd all go to the freaking strip club.
Right, yeah.
Like, not a glum lot. Like, having a good time.
Right.
DJing parties. It's not about... I feel like society just has this stigma with
Right. Well,
alcoholics.
a lot of people think that the fun is going to end once you quit using substances.
Right.
And I'm like, dude, Chad and I could have fun in a paper bag.
I believe that.
It's just like,
I've never once had fun with this man. This man is a horrible person. I cannot stand him. I'm being held against my will. I'm blinking twice right now. To anybody who is captively watching and listening, I am blinking twice with my eyeballs to let you know I'm being held against my will.
see, and he just
my
does
gosh.
that. And he's completely sober.
I know, right?
Yeah, right.
These
Is
are
it
the
other
things.
than the MDMA and the ketamine and the stuff I took earlier?
no, you're
but
supposed-
I have a doctor's prescription for
But
my
you're,
LSD.
you're supposed to say ketamine does not count.
Ketamine does not count.
It's
It is
just
for
a
my mental health.
disassociative. Yeah, right.
I'm just on a vision quest to meet God right now.
DMT is okay, and yeah.
Yeah,
Nah.
as long as you don't smoke as a DMT and you just snort it or put it in your rectum, it is a good drug.
Anyway, so let's throw to commercial. Actually, little Sheila.
After all that,
yeah,
that I
exactly.
just said,
Well-
let's advertise my mom's book where we're talking about sobriety. Yeah, that's
Hey.
perfect.
That wasn't
Hey,
you. That was
exactly.
a song.
Yeah, exactly. But the book is actually called Two Calls, and here it is.
Imagine getting that phone call as a parent that your son has been hit by a car and is being life flighted.
2 hours before we got the call, Chad had called me to tell me it was the best day of his life. And then I get another call, and a stranger had found him, and they were care flighting him to a trauma unit, and that he would start praying for our family that we needed to hurry.
When you wake up on the operating table and they're like, we're going to cut off both your legs. And then I wake up and then one's gone, the other one's in an external rod system. It's just not good. The real kicker is that I've had like all of these scars all over my arms, and that's all from complications resulting from drug abuse.
I never thought about giving up on him. Never. This is my son, and I know he's going to be okay. You cannot just have help for the addict. You have to seek out professional help. The whole family has been affected.
And I just want to make that very clear to anybody who's out there listening, that if I can do this thing as much as I've been through, man, there's a lot of wiggle room for people before they get to that point where they can do it too.
All right, and that book is called Two Calls. If you go to twocalls.org, you can actually buy the book and then book Chad and his mama, Lil Sheila, to do speaking engagements and or speaking stuff.
Yeah, and by the time this episode airs, it will have been my mother's 70th birthday. So happy birthday to little Sheila.
Happy birthday, Lil Sheila.
And,
we love you.
Yeah, she went around the earth. She's been around 70 times. Last year, she had been around 68 times twice, right?
Oh.
Because moms are not allowed to turn 69.
Right.
It's a dad
Of
thing.
course, yes.
Right? So she was 68 for the second year in a row.
All right.
Now she's 70, so congratulations. Happy birthday.
Sweet.
And yeah, you can reach out to us on the website if you want us to talk.
Love it.
And that's about
Two calls.
it.
Twocalls.org.
O-R-G.
Love it. And then we also have some new music streaming, and here it is.
Focus yourself.
All right, and we are back. Those songs are streaming on all major platforms. If you look us up on Spotify, be sure follow Chad LeMans
Yeah.
and or Kelly Reverb, and we both have our playlist, and we're streaming on Apple Music, YouTube, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so back, you actually had some questions regarding.
So the whole right. Let's just take what we were talking
Let's
about
just
with the
break it
12
down.
steps. So let's just break it down real
Okay.
quick, right? So when you're going through the book, right, and you're talking with somebody about it, when you get into a specific part, it tells you you had to find a power by which you could live. It had to be a power greater than yourself. And you're like, well, where and how am I to find this power? And it's like, well, it's exactly what this book is about, right? And then later on in the book, it talks about, you get a daily reprieve from it, right? So you have to plug into this power so that when you do these things, right, and you're plugged in, there's a pretty good shot you're not going to get fucked up that day. Like, that's the whole idea of it, basically, right? Mm-hmm. So he was asking you questions like, oh, well, what's going to make you want it and all that stuff. And you said some cool stuff, right? And it's cool. Like, it's awesome.
But I
like,
don't believe you, and I think you're
God
full of
is
shit.
the thing that it talks about making that possible, right? Because it's like, once you have one, fucking, 2,000's not enough. And one's never enough, and 2,000's not enough either, and or whatever they say. And it's like, so yeah, it's when you said, I've been in the program, I've been in the rooms and stuff, but I've never gone through the steps, right? And I think a lot of people have that experience where they're like, oh, fuck yeah, I'm doing 90 meetings in 90 days. I'm going to do this. I feel great, fuck yeah. Oh, Kentucky doesn't seem like such a bad idea after meeting a rich prince from France. You know what I mean? So a lot of people have that same experience, right? But yeah, the whole idea and the concept of the 12 steps is to plug you into, well, shortcut God, right? If everybody's afraid of that word for whatever reason. I know I was. And then that is the thing that gives you like these 24-hour windows, one day at a time. That's why they say that. That where you just don't get fucked up anymore. Right. And it's like, oh shit, this is actually a really good way to live. So I'm very happy that you're going through the steps with somebody that we know. She's badass, and they have some really good sobriety over there. So is that what is the are y'all, I don't know, like what is that like, is this time, has it felt like something other than yourself is at play?
Oh.
The whole God thing, it's one of those topics that I don't think I've ever fully wrapped my brain or feelings around. I do believe that certain things happened in a way that it's not coincidence, that brought me to the realization that I need therapy, I need AA, and I need to stop.
Right.
And so I can call it God, I can call it
Your higher
the
self,
higher power,
your higher yes.
fate, something.
The universe.
The universe that brought me to that. And so that for me is what it is. You know, the word God, like it's just one of those things that.
Right.
Yeah, I get
Well, when you start to involve God, then you start to automatically think of religion, and religion turns a lot of people off.
Right.
But spirituality
Yes.
is a completely different thing than an organized religion.
Yeah, one of my favorite things that there's a therapist that worked at the Meadows with me, and he used to say this, and he was just very like poetic when he would talk, right? And it was just so awesome and funny. Fucking funniest guy too. But he was like an ex-pastor. No, he's actually in Arkansas now.
Okay.
And he's a fantastic guy. But he used to say, and I'm sure he got this from somewhere else. I don't think he made it up. But it was
Because he's too stupid.
Religion is for people who think that they're going to go to hell, and spirituality is for people who have been there. And that's what he used to say, and it was great. So shout out Mark for that little tidbit. But oh fuck! I had a train of thought that I was just.
I was going to say I would rather you do everything in Croissant LeMans character, especially. Oh, you need to stay plugged in just like you would with a vibrator. Every 24 hours, you need to plug into your.
That was
higher
like
power.
a shitty Irish like mix
Hey,
of stuff.
look, I don't claim to. I'm just trying to save you from your own pause there.
Well, I have some news for you. There is no saving croissant from croissant.
That is
So,
true.
I think so. You were talking about this real quick, and it's just a thought that I've had over the short period of time that I've been sober, but also in like my life prior, and it was the whole coincidence stuff. Right, things are coincidence, and but once you start having like 9 million of coincidences,
Exactly.
it gets a little tough to call it that.
Right.
Right, intellectually. But everybody thinks we have this innate ability to reason, so we can think about everything and figure it out. Right? No, especially being kind of a smart person or whatever, it's very tough. So I had this thought, and it's like you kind of touched on it, but it's like, so if everything happens, like I'm not gonna say everything happens for a reason. That's a tough fucking statement. That's a straw man argument right there. You can pick that apart any day. But what I will say is everything happens exactly how it's supposed to.
Yes.
Right? Like
Yeah.
all of this stuff to bring you closer and have this different experience, right? So everything happens exactly how it's supposed to when it's supposed to, right? Like you can't make somebody want
Timing.
it, like you say, right? So if you take that thought, right, and then you run with it, and if that's true for me, right, everything happened and lined up just ever so perfectly with all these coincidences that are now no longer coincidence to me, right? It just makes sense. So if that's true for me, it brought me to be able to have this conversation with you guys in this room, right? Every little thing that's ever happened to me has turned me into this version of croissant, you know what I mean? Where I get to have these conversations, right, on this podcast, talking with you after this. So if that's true for me, that everything happened exactly how it was supposed to, what would that also imply for the other people in this room? Right? That would imply that it would have to be true for you guys, right? Because if it's my truth, then it's y'all's truth. And if you look at that and the deeper kind of understanding of that, then it's like, holy shit, then that means if it's true for us three in this room, it would have to be true for everybody else. And if it's true for everybody else, it would have to be true since, all the way back to the fucking beginning. Every right turn, every left turn, every fucking, every shorted fucking check, everything you could think of had to happen exactly how it happened for us to get here, right now, ever so perfectly in this moment to have this conversation, right? So, and you kind of touched on that with the whole idea of like, oh, well, it's just every time I get together with these people after something like that happens, it brings me closer. And then I learn these lessons, right? And these lessons are the most important thing about all of it. Because, like, I don't know if you guys know this, but it gets worse if you don't learn them. You know? They just continually get worse and worse and worse until, you either die or you figure it out.
Yeah.
And that's the fucked up part about it. Most people die before they figure it out. So I'm just glad that, that you can kind of, And it's a tough word to navigate. Like the word God, whatever. You call it any fucking thing you want. This chair is a fucking greater power than me because it'll have more people sit on it than I ever will. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, it's just cool to see, serendipitous things, right?
Yes.
Serendipity, all of that stuff. It's all part of it, right? So whatever brought you back into the rooms and brings you back to all of this stuff, it's fantastic.
You guys had a part in that too. I remember the conversation we had at It'll Do. And I think I remember being drunk, and I remember sharing the first song I produced with you.
Yeah.
And then I remember saying,
in a badass BMW. Fuck yeah, dude.
I remember saying, I know life is better sober. I remember saying that, and I'm drunk with y'all.
Right.
And I remember, but it put sobriety back in my head. And it was because I had a conversation with you guys, and not, it's one of those things where sometimes you go to the program and maybe you don't like feel like you belong, or you don't get along with people, whatever, people
can always make excuses all the time
it's
about,
so easy to see differences.
I don't like that group, so
Yeah.
I don't like the program altogether.
Right.
Yeah.
And that can happen. And, but when you have a good time, you find similarities, it just helps.
Right.
Yeah.
It just helps. And you guys planted the seed again.
Right.
In my head.
And see, that's that's like the serendipitous, like, universal thing, right, that we're talking about. Whatever this fucking shit is that's at play, that's much greater than any of us, because that's just a conversation.
Right.
Like, I don't think that either of us, like, sat up later that night and we're like, man, that conversation.
Well, dude, I got to say this about serendipity here.
That's kind of how that works,
right?
It is.
It's so.
No, but I got to say this
power
about,
that's much greater than us.
I got to say this about serendipity. I mean, if you look at just your and mine relationship, dude, I mean, come on, dude. Okay, first off, I'm a DJ that's playing open format. Yeah, well, that's how I felt on you, dude. I was like, Jesus Christ, did you say something, dude? Like, yeah, you were fucking horrible, dude. Like, I mean, I'm going to have to edit half of what you said out. Yeah. So
it was good.
But anyway, no, what I was going to say, and I was going to say something nice, you fuck, is that, okay, so I'm an open format DJ, miserable in my job. You're a fucking junkie working sound for a house band. Then we talk, and then we're like, oh, well, let's make music together, right? You have no idea what you're doing. I have no idea.
I have a little bit.
Okay, so I had a little bit too.
You had no idea.
But so then we get together, and then, like, I go get clean in 2020. You go to jail, and then fucking I have a podcast. Guess what? I need an engineer for that podcast. Oh, guess what? Chad knows how to do that. I mean, there's all these coincidences that, happened to where it's like, okay, when is it not coincidence?
Yeah, once you start having like millions of them, it's like, dude, if you can't see it,
God,
it's like somebody else should be able to point it out. And if you still can't listen, then you're not ready to listen. And that's like the stuff with the step work. We talk about that. We've talked about that a few times. It's like, it's a fucking fantastic way to go meet people and go hang out and be part of the rooms. You keep you snoring. That's great.
I know. I wanted you to have your earbuds on because I was going to start dusty mouth breathing.
Oh, no, you just do it. These earphones hurt. My little timid little ears. My little ears.
My elven little ears.
So
now you're going to go into that character.
So it's just like, it doesn't make sense until it makes sense, and it's not time until it's time. So that's badass that you, like,
hopefully
had an experience
that realization
to where it's like, hey, maybe I should do this thing that they've been talking about.
Yeah,
maybe that's the missing piece to the puzzle.
I mean, there's always something that leads, something catastrophic in a way that leads to the rooms. And it wasn't the Kentucky, it was something else. But
well, let's hear that.
Bottom line is it gets you, to therapy. It gets you to AA again. I don't know.
What
I just
what
like
did
to
that-
blow shit up.
Well, so some people honestly are their own tornado.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
it says it in the book.
Yeah.
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 You know? Oh, this is great. Okay, let me just fuck it up.
And
Let's do that.
people say you thrive in chaos, but I'm like, no, because then you're just having something else, another fire that you're gonna have to put out, and
Well, that's like in early sobriety when you fucking go super hard, right?
Yeah.
Like early sobriety feels like chaos, and that's because like the dust is settled. And there is no chaos, and all you've been used to and trained in is chaos,
You
right?
know-
Like managing addictions, managing alcoholism, all of that stuff is complete fucking chaos, and it's a fucking lie. It's a disaster. And then when you get sober, you're like, oh, this fucking no way, dude. This is weird. And it's like, dude, what are you talking about? This is calm. And they're like, the calm feels like chaos at first.
This is the first time I have not had chaos getting sober. And this is why it feels different.
okay.
There's no, it just feels calm. It feels right. It feels like it's time.
Yeah.
It feels like I'm actually ready.
Well, that's the key word you just said,
Yeah.
that you're ready for it.
It just feels, and I feel like maybe it's because I'm older. I don't know.
Well, no, but I mean, that happens. It's not like
As you get older, you're like,
I always feel bad for like these kids that are younger and then they get hooked on fentanyl and then they're homeless, you know, because I mean, I had, like I said, and you have, I'm sure, a fantastic drinking career.
Yes.
You know, and I mean, and it was great. It was great until it
oh,
wasn't.
it's
Like
terrible.
you said, yeah.
Terrible. And
Yeah.
then there's always a moment you look around, like you wake up, you look around, even though no one's there, you
Yeah.
just look around and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Self-realization, the aha moment.
The aha, like,
Yeah.
dude, this is nuts.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
And I think that's a big part of like the program and any sort of recovery program, right? No matter what it is, it's like, all right, if you have the chance to go talk to somebody about your experience and what you've been through, you might just be that person that plants that little seed or brings it back up in their memory. You know what I mean? That can make all the difference with something as simple as a conversation that gets the ball rolling. You know, we can't
Just
do
like
much more
Chad
than
and
that.
I are responsible for your
Seriously.
sobriety.
No, I'm just
kidding.
saying, like it's just a conversation, and like how much fucking time do you have a day to be talking to people
Right.
about stuff?
I could
know?
I could be looking at reels.
difference.
I could be looking at reels on TikTok.
You'd be looking at porn.
instead of helping somebody. Porn,
brother.
But well, I am glad that you're framing it this time, and like I said, I wish you the best.
Doing
of
the fucking
luck,
work.
Thank you.
You know,
Yes,
and I
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I'll keep you posted.
And
Yeah.
you're with
Of
good people
course.
doing it too.
I
you
know. They're the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you've got like all stars. Like
Yeah.
she is an
Literally
all-star.
all-stars.
Yeah.
I love it. I know.
Yeah.
She's amazing. And I love that she's still wild and crazy.
Okay,
Hell
but,
yeah.
but
I love
That's when you
that.
know they get it.
yeah.
Exactly.
And she is no less fun than she was. Yeah,
So true.
Yeah.
And that is what I love.
Yeah.
And that is when I look at what sobriety to me looks like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, fuck yes.
I was afraid I was gonna. I mean, I was one of those people that thought I was gonna lose my edge.
Right?
And I'm like, no, I'm just an incredible asshole. Period.
A little
with her.
edgy.
No, but I mean, it was like one of those things. I thought I wasn't gonna be able to have fun,
Yeah.
and it's just not true
Right.
because I have fun all the time.
Yeah, I tend to have a little fun.
See?
I tend to have some fun sometimes. I like fun stuff. And
All right, before we let you go, though, where can people look you up to see your DJ stuff?
Awesome. So I'm on SoundCloud, Sevara Tyrrell, Sevara.
And that's actually pronounced Severa. right?
Sevara Tyrrell.
for the first part of this segment.
Right.
Yes. Sevara Tyrrell, Tyrrell. And SoundCloud, Instagram, Sevara_Tyrrell.
And you
Okay.
do a lot of DJ stuff at like
do.
the fitness stuff
Yes.
with it. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
So I, used to do a lot of nightclubs in Las Vegas and such. Had some residencies here in Dallas.
Imagine that.
I did.
Nightclubs in Las Vegas.
Oh man, fun stuff.
Right.
But and I actually did it sober.
Right.
I did it sober. It was amazing. Best experience ever. But now I do a lot of gyms. So used to do all the F45s. Now I'm at like Lifetime, Las Colinas.
Right.
Got some things coming up in Deep Ellum. Want to start throwing some big sober parties.
Yeah.
But also, drinkers, bring your ass
Yeah.
to everybody.
Otherwise, the bar will kick us out.
Exactly.
Right.
We need everyone. But
Well, there's actually a movement, like a lot of coffee shops
yes,
are doing
yes
parties, day parties.
So got some events. Have a group it's like a 10-year kind of project that I've been ready to pull the trigger on now, called Sober Socialites.
Okay.
It's a lot of S's. Sober Socialites.
Do you have a URL for that, or will there be an Instagram page? Or
Yes, I have it started, and
Okay.
it's on Instagram. I need to get, I do have an URL, sobersocialites.com. I've
Okay.
actually owned that for about 10, 12 years.
Nice. It's been percolating.
It's been there. That's
Right.
the thing. And I'm
Right.
like, and it just.
Now
won't
it's time
leave.
to launch it.
Yes. And so, I finally got it going. It just feels so fucking ready.
All right, so then now the pressure's on. So by the time
Yep.
this airs,
Let's do-
you better have the website up.
It will be, and I'm so excited, and we'll throw some events, and I hope y'all will please.
We would love to be a part of it.
Dude, let's do
anyway,
some
we
stuff.
we can be a part of it.
Yes, spread the word.
And then one more thing, I have to hear the impression of your mother one more time before we go.
Okay, let's see. Sevara. She can't say my name, just so you know. Sevara. Why you so, oh, you smoking? Why you smoking? This is not, no pretty girl is smoking cigarette. Yes, Mom. Okay.
I love
I
that.
drink too. She'll be like, why can't you only, just no liquor, okay?
Right.
Just a beer. No liquor, Sabara, it's okay. I'm like, no, Mom. It doesn't work like that for me.
Right, yeah. Yeah, I love it.
Shout
Yeah.
out to Miss Sunja Pak.
Ah,
Weinstein.
I'm not even
shout
trying
out-
to say
Her
it, but
last
shout
name's
out.
Weinstein.
Shout out mama.
Oh my God! This lady, she's total Korean lady. Her last name's Weinstein. People are like, what?
What? Nice. Well, we appreciate you
Thank
coming
you.
on.
Thank you guys so much.
So, I mean, literally, we were talking about serendipity, and this was kind of a serendipitous moment.
Seriously.
Because we, honestly, I had like nobody for the third episode. And then I was just like, oh. Well,
Oh yeah, because you had texted us earlier.
Yes,
yeah.
I did.
And then I was like, oh, well, what about her?
We
And
can
then
call
I'm like,
God.
bam.
It is God.
There you
There
go,
it
dude.
is.
There we go.
The more it happens, the more I believe.
Yeah. Well,
of those
now
things.
you publicly have it on record that you're taking it serious.
Yes,
this time.
that's a
So
huge
now you have to
freaking
watch
deal.
it.
I know.
And go, I can't lie.
It's so
Yeah, right.
it's nuts.
Right.
Well, I think
How
this'll-
much it just changes your format. It just admitting it's
Yeah.
powerful.
Well, it's step one.
Well, I can admit it to myself and God
Right.
and another, but like every fucking body, it's
Right.
a little different.
Well, it'll be cool to see this. I think this will speak to a lot of people who are out there like fucking. No, it doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? It's like as long as you don't quit quitting.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As long as you don't quit trying.
Yep.
And
That
then
is
that's the part of it.
That is a what is that? A Dak. What's his last name?
Dak Prescott, the one who doesn't quit quitting.
That's
Yeah, because he's really
Dak
fucking up the
Shepard.
Cowboys by
Dak
doing that.
Shepard. Dak Shepard.
Oh, I didn't know.
Dak Prescott's a quarterback who doesn't probably drink at all.
Well, yeah. Well, he needs to start quitting the goddamn
needs to,
Cowboys.
yeah,
What he
right.
needs to do, goddamn.
All right. But Dak Shepard.
Yeah.
Dak
Yeah, I didn't know
Shepard,
that.
he that's a quote he says,
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, when I meet him, I'll tell him I quoted him.
You do that.
I'll
You
just
do
say,
that.
"Hey, Dex.
Way to plagiarize.
I'm happy to meet you.
I'm sorry I plagiarized.
I'm sorry I quoted you.
Right.
I'm so sorry, Dex.
And you probably fucked it up too.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Anyway. Anyway, dude. Okay. We appreciate you being
Thank you.
on, and
for having me.
and hopefully we will be DJing with you somewhere soon.
Oh yes.
It's gonna be fun.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
And Chad, always
Fuck you.
hanging out with you.
I knew you were gonna say something shitty. You know what I mean? So I put the camera on me and just
And just
specifically
said,
said, "Fuck
you,
you."
dude.
You know what I mean? That was good. That was
Fuck
good.
you.
So
I just wanted to say here. put the
Gotta
camera on me.
remember, kids, there's no magic pill for sobriety because it's the one you're all taking mini.
All right, there we go. Anyway, be sure like, subscribe, all that stuff. Chad is hilarious, and we're gonna have to put the button. We're gonna take the buttons away from you.
no,
Chad.
I like these buttons.
We're
This
gonna
is
take
so
those-
much better. You'll see the cuts.
Yeah.
I go like this and just 3 cameras immediately.
I know, we're-
Start dancing. There you go.
Right there we go. Good
Seizure
times.
warning.
All right. So anyway, but be sure to like, subscribe, subscribe, all that good stuff.
All the
And remember, kids, there is no magic pill for sobriety because if there was, we'd all be Chad.